Have you ever listened to a story and thought, that was good, but so what? It made you smile, but it may have even inspired maybe a small note from you, but an hour later, it's gone. Now imagine a story that lingers, a story that shifts how you think, a story that nudges you to take action, a story that leaves you saying, I can do this too. That's the magic of a payoff. It's the moment where a story stops being entertainment and starts being transformation. And today, we'll break down how to craft that moment so your stories don't just captivate, they change lives. Stories grab attention, they pull people in, they make them lean forward, but without a payoff, even the best story fades. A story without a payoff is just a tale. Interesting, maybe emotional, but ultimately forgettable. A story without a payoff and with a payoff is different. It delivers a lesson, a shift in perspective, a moment where the audience suddenly sees, this applies to me. Because storytelling isn't only about what happened, it's about why it matters and how it connects to the listener's life. Your goal is to craft a payoff that inspires transformation. It's not enough to summarize. And that's why hard work matters? No, that's vague, that's safe, that's forgettable. A strong payoff must highlight a universal truth that transcends your story. You must build a bridge connecting the lesson to the audience's life, illustrate transformation. This is where your story stops being just your story and becomes a story the audience can live. Now, let me give you a 4-part structure for a payoff. The first is the universal truth. Start with the principle that applies beyond you. Example, fear often shows up right before growth is possible. Now the second, the bridge. Connect it to the audience's experience. You may not be changing careers like I did, but you face your own version of fear every day. Now the third is transformation. Show what becomes possible if they embrace it. When fear is a signal to grow, it stops being a stop sign. It becomes a guide towards opportunity. Now the fourth, the call to action. Invite action. Example, this week, pick one thing that scares you and take the first step anyway. When delivered with energy, clarity, this flow, insight, connection, possibility, action creates that unforgettable aha moment. Stories with strong payoffs transform audiences. They act. Marketing, a customer says yes. In leadership, a team takes initiative. When speaking, a listener leaves with a new perspective on what's possible. Because the payoff is where the story lives beyond the moment. It's where the audience says, yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, this applies to me. So the next time you tell a story, ask yourself, am I just entertaining or am I creating transformation? End your story not with an ending, but with a moment the audience can carry it into their own life. Bye for now and see you in the next one.